Welcome. And our next activity that we are going to create is this paperclip, and this is going to demonstrate the use of the sweep function. This is basic part creation exercise 3, sweep. So we're going to sketch a path, then we're going to relate the profile sketch to the path sketch, and then we're going to sweep a feature using the path and profile sketches. So essentially we're going to make a path, right? So basically a line that follows this particular shape of the paperclip. And then we're going to draw another sketch, which is the profile for the circle. And then we're going to use the sweep tool to take that circle and, essentially extrude it, sweep it all the way around the entire path to create the paperclip. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new part, and we're going to change our length units to millimeters and our mass units to grams. So if I go over, we can see the object that we're going to create. I'm going to click on the Home tab down at the bottom. I click on the arrow next to new and I select a new part, and it's going to give me a new part file. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and click on my tools tab. Then I'm going to click on document settings. Then I click on the units tab. I'm going to go down here and I change my length from inch to millimeter and my mass from pound mass to gram, and then I click OK. Now I go back over to my 3D model tab, and then I click on Start 2D Sketch, and I want to pick my XY plane, and I want to rotate it so that my top is reading horizontally. So it's going to make it a little easier for our horizontals and our verticals. So I go back over here, I created the new part, I changed the length units and the mass units to millimeters and grams. I created a new 2D sketch on the XZ plane, and I made sure it reads top horizontally. So we're good there. Now I'm going to create this path, and I'm going to start right here at the origin. Right, it's going to help us lock everything in, and the hint here says you can use 3-point arcs or tangent arcs. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use the 3-point arc. So I start with my line tool. I can hit the L key. I'm going to start right here at the very center point, so that yellow dot turns to a green dot, and I'm going to draw a horizontal line. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on the arc tool. And right here where my line ended, I'm going to click there. And then I'm going to go straight vertically down. And then I'm going to click there. And then I'm just going to make an arc like that. Notice I get the little tangent icon that pops up. That's a good sign. So I go there and I click the L key, or I hit the line tool. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line out here. And I go back over to my object, and it looks like I got to go past my origin. So I'm going to go over here to the other side, and then I'm going to go up here to my arc tool. I click my arc tool, and I'm going to go up vertically from that last point. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to see it until it snaps to that tangent once again. Then I'm going to make a line straight from the end of that arc all the way back over to here, and I'm going to stop about there. I'm going to go make my arc once again. I click my arc tool. I'm going to go completely vertical, and I'm going to go here until that snaps to a tangent. And then I'm going to make one more line here, just like that. I'm going to hit escape to get out of my line tool, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at my object, and it looks pretty good, right? I have that same shape. I know I got some things that I got to fix on it, but this looks pretty good. So I go to my next one, and it says that I've got all these sketch constraints. There's a lot going on. The arc should be tangent, so I should have tangent arcs to all of my lines, and to each line at every vertex. So right here, this arc should be tangent here, and this arc should be tangent here. So in Inventor, I'm going to see 2 tangent constraints on either arc, right? And then also, this end point is vertical to the origin. So I want to make sure these 2 are vertical to each other. I'm going to make sure these 2 are horizontal to each other. So I go back over to my object, and I'm going to start with those vertical and horizontal constraints. So I'm going to click on my vertical constraint, and I click on my endpoints right here, and those 2 are aligned with each other now. Now I'm going to click on my horizontal constraint, and I'm going to click on these 2 center points for my 2 circles, and you see those lined up. And then I'm going to click on my tangent button. I'm pretty sure this one's tangent because when I created it, it created it tangent, but I'm going to click on it anyway, and it looks like it's there. I'm going to do the next vertex right there. That one's now tangent. It took that one. Okay, that one's already tangent, so it was like that when I created it, but that one wasn't. I'm going to create this one here. That one was already there. Then I'm going to do another one right here, and that should be it. So I should have tangent on, each end of each of the arcs. I can come down here to my show all constraints, and I can see I've got 2 tangents on every single arc. I've got horizontal constraints and vertical constraints everywhere that I need them. So now this is good, right? I have my path. Now I need to go ahead and I need to put on some dimensions. Dimensions is where it kind of starts to, act up a little bit. So I'm going to pick this first one and I'm going to make it 75. So I hit the dimension tool, or I can hit the D key. And this first one here, I'm going to type is 75, not 785, 75. You can see my paperclip reshaped a little bit. Then I'm going to put in this radius of 20. So I make that 20. All right, and then I come back in and I make this one 15. I'm going to do this radius next because it's going to help me sort of maintain my overall proportion. Okay, and then I want to make sure that I have a dimension between these 2 points of 25. And then I want a dimension between these 2 points, these 2 centers of 125. And let me double check, right? So I've got all of these dimensions on it, and I can see my paperclip taking shape, and I'm going to turn off my constraints, and I'm going to just sort of reshape my view. It looks pretty good, right? Everything is fully constrained, and it looks like we're ready to move on to the next step. So I'm going to finish the sketch, and I'm going to just rename this to Path Sketch. This is kind of a optional item to do, but it's always helpful to name your sketches and name your extrusions and all the actions. So I can't right click and hit rename. I've got to actually double click, and it's the sort of like 2 clicks but not quickly double click. Then I'm going to call this Path Sketch, or you could just call it Path, but this is going to be the path that our profile will follow. Now after I've done that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create a new 2D sketch on the XY plane. You'll notice that it shows up like this when we build this, and that's good, because I want to draw it so that it is perpendicular to this line. So I go up here and I hit Start 2D Sketch. That didn't do the way that I wanted it to, so I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. I'm going to hit Escape because I might actually have selected something. So I'm going to hit Start 2D Sketch. There we go. And then I'm going to select this YZ plane right here. Alternatively, I can go over here to my origin and I can select my YZ plane from my model browser. Either one will work. And you'll notice that I'm going to go here at a little bit of an angle. You'll notice that we're drawing on this surface, right? We're drawing right here where the Y and Z axis intersect with this X, right? So we're going to draw a circle right there at the end point. Now I can draw it anywhere I want, but I'm going to start here because I'm going to want to move it there. I'm just going to click that click and set that circle. So now that I'm sketching on that plane, it needs to be a 5 millimeter circle. And notice that it says there's the path sketch. In the next step, we're going to have to move it. You can always move it to make it coincident, but I just drew it right there. And then I'm going to put a dimension on my circle, and I'm going to make that 5 millimeters. So I hit 5, and then I'm done, right? I just need to finish my sketch, and I'm going to name it Profile Sketch. So I go here, I click twice, and I'm going to call this Profile Sketch. And I hit Enter. Now, I think that's it. I need to just create a sweep feature, right? And it's going to automatically pick my profile. I just need to tell it which path. So I go back over and I click on the sweep button up here in the Create toolbar. And you see it automatically selected that profile because that was the only profile there. And it's telling me to select the curve that I want. I'm going to click on the Home button so we can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to click on the path, and now you can see that paperclip took shape. Once I'm happy with it, I can click OK. And now I have a paperclip. Right? Not quite done yet. I need to change the material and get my eye properties and make sure everything matches up with what it should. So I need that aluminum 6061. So I go here to my drop down menu. Under generic, I go to the top and I go to aluminum 6061. You see it kind of changed the overall color of it, and I could see that my part is made out of aluminum 6061. And now I want to get my eye properties. So I can go to File Eye Properties, or I can right click on the part, and I click Eye Properties, and I click Physical, and I click Update. And I can see that it's 26.050 grams, that's good, and a volume of 9648.060 millimeters cubed. So we're all good there, so I would take a screenshot of this, and I would turn it in, and don't forget to save. So go to File, Save, and we can call this sweep exercise. Thanks for watching.